just their phrasing of like the timeline is running out instead of like I think it's a play on just time is running out. But like
that's the text that they keep putting on screen.
Yes. Yeah, like
time runs out.
Welcome back to the break room. Ahead of Loki season 2, we thought it would be a lot of fun to peel back the curtain a bit and show you how we prepare to cover a series when it's coming out. We do that by watching every single piece of promo that Marvel and Disney deign to drop on us. We're going to do a little kind of completionist series we call Trailer Trawl. I'm Zach Huddleston, and joining me today here on the old Trailer Trawler is Brandon Barrick.
That's right, and I was told we're calling this Trailer Swift.
And John Costa. The Robert Tractor Trailer of the break room. This might be a dumb question, but are you guys excited for Loki?
Well, that was a dumb question. Of course I'm excited for Loki.
Good. Well, and also that was to the audience, right? What's the excitement level? I think everybody's jazzed. I will say, the general Marvel energy is low, I think.
People are cautiously optimistic, maybe. Yes. They don't want to invest all of themselves into another Marvel show.
I think unlike when the first season of the series came out, when it was like, anything Marvel I'm in.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I'm going to be a little picky with my Marvel consumption for people. Now, we all think that pickiness will be rewarded with this series and that like the picky will come back. We are very excited for it. We hope everybody else will be. Mm-hmm. We're going to be covering the hell out of the show, of course, on Breakroom and New Rockstars. But let's jump right into it. Let's watch the first trailer from July 31st of this year, the first full trailer, and see what kind of insights we can glean from that.
I like the point.
There's nothing the sound between this world.
Oh.
Only one way to find out. A little good old-fashioned legwork. Listen, we have different styles. You're a man.
Such good music.
I like a repeat of the style of music from season 1.
Yes.
It's really good. It's him.
Wow, I totally forgot this was the first trailer. This is so much. Wow.
Always will be.
Ugh. Okay.
I thought it was spot on.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's like 4 endings to that trailer. Great. And of course, we've all seen that trailer, had plenty of time to marinate and reflect on it, but it's fun watching it back. They show a lot.
They do.
Right?
Yeah.
Not to say now, all of that
a lot of locations.
A lot of locations, time periods, characters, and all kinds of different period garb. Now, all of that could be in the first episode or 2 episodes of the series. This series might be kind of a wide-ranging one. It actually, you think back to the first season, and I know we've all been rewatching the first season and prep for season 2, right? Like, actually, most episodes kind of stayed in one place or maybe went to 2 places or something like that. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of like crazy bouncing around. It was somewhat calculated. But when you've already established what the TVA is and you don't need to reestablish it, maybe it allows you to pop around a little bit more in season 2.
Yeah, there was maybe 1 new location per episode, if that. Right? You have the Renaissance Fair, the RuxCon store, Lamentis, but and the rest of it is mostly TVA. You got the like church at the beginning, but yeah, we're in a lot of different places. One of the locations was the Citadel at the end of time,
which we thought was gone, right?
It's a little bit like, okay, so there's presumably like a dead Kang there, but I imagine there's not much else unless they need to go back for like script pages or I don't know, they need to like decipher some He Who Remains shenanigans or something.
Yeah, one thing that caught my eye watching this again was just their phrasing of like the timeline is running out instead of like I think it's a play on just time is running out. But like
that's the text that they keep putting on screen.
Yes. Yeah, like
time runs out.
Time running out is like an interesting idea of
especially in a show
the
like
timeline
this.
ending.
Yeah,
because that's right. The end of Loki season 1 was sort of like oh, we crossed over the threshold, I think is something he says, and he doesn't have more story written.
Well, it's fun. It's a great dramatic trope to have a ticking clock in
Yeah.
general, right? It's extra fun maybe to do it on a show where literally time might be less relevant than in any other show,
Yeah.
right? But it's still somehow important. Maybe that's because that line is fraying that we see Mobius have to go out there in the crazy suit to fix, or something is going to happen. Kang is going to kill all my friends, something like that, right? One thing that stood out to me was that great line, right? How do you decide who lives and who dies? And that's like dealing with the kind of like godlike powers that these Kangs inhabit, where they're kind of making these choices for the greater good to prune off entire timelines
very
and stuff like that.
Thanos-y,
Very
you know.
Thanos-y. And that kind of like, that's good stuff. Because I know like Loki's going to be like, well, you can't kill my friends, right? And then whichever Kang or whoever's pulling the strings is like, they've got to die.
Well, and I like it too because it's almost a little bit of a meta commentary because, you know, a lot of times we're sitting here with all these multiverse stories. It's like, well, who gives a shit if, you know, multiverse character, like, I don't care that
Right.
Reed Richards died in Multiverse of Madness because I know
could
we're
come
going
right
to get
back.
him
Yeah.
later. And so I wonder if Kang sort of has a similar approach of like, well, I don't care if you're getting pruned because it's fucking with my thing.
Yes.
And I don't care that you're getting pruned. You don't matter.
Yeah, but Loki's like, no, that Renslayer or that Sylvie is the one that matters to me. You can't prune that one, right? We've got a bunch of other trailers to get through, so let's kick into the next one. This one is from September 4th.
What I'm about to tell you is going to be hard to believe.
Oh, yeah, this was like the fun music.
Yeah.
Again.
Oh my God.
That's a great trailer. You're right. Right from the music to the editing style, definitely plays into comedy. Fun kind of group hangout energy.
Yeah, that soundtrack with like the da 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 is very different for that show, and not something they've done before. And I don't know if they'll even do that in the show.
I just realized I didn't remember this trailer because I was in the hospital when this trailer came out.
This trailer put you in the hospital,
Yeah, yeah,
Joe?
yeah.
It was that
Did that look
shocking.
like it was Loki? I haven't seen this trailer. I haven't frame by framed it. It looked like Loki was sort of unraveling at the end there.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen him glitching,
Time
slipping, but like that looked like he was starting to like lose it.
Yes, and I like the first trailer kind of had this theme of like maybe like saving my friends or like getting the team together. This trailer definitely has the team is together, right? We get
Right.
that big shot of like Renslayer and Mobius and everybody all together there at the end behind Loki, who's holding like a funky green microphone. That looks really cool, right? Like to see that, that's definitely something we did not get in season 1. Like everybody together at the same time, maybe with a shared goal, right? It was very much like Loki bouncing around, not knowing who to trust, all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, that Loki unraveling almost makes me think that like we might get more than one. Obviously, we have Loki and Sylvie, but like I wonder if we'll even get more Huddleston variants helping the cause.
or if they're gonna mess around with like
Him on the timeline or something.
yeah, not not the time heist per se, but like the idea of like doing things over and over and over again in a weird way.
Yeah, here we go again, or whatever he said there at
Right,
the end.
right.
A little bit of Groundhog Day, Russian doll element, right?
Interesting.
Like he has to
Yeah.
keep doing something till he gets it right. That's a fun. We got just a little bit of that with the Lady Sith. Sif,
What Sif was-
Punching
I
them
would
over and
I would
over
love like an episode of that.
Yeah.
You do it for an episode. You can't do it for more than that. But
again. Yeah.
That could be a fun bottle episode, as they say in the biz. Okay, how about the amazing Loki behind the scenes video? Let's watch this bad boy.
Go time. Day 1.
Rest assured, our Loki will be with our Mobius,
Our Loki.
dealing with the consequences of this first season.
So many great practical sets.
Yeah.
I've got him spot on.
I'll never
Great.
understand how they prune a wall. I don't get how that works.
How they what?
Prune a wall.
Oh, well,
Well, they
we'll,
prune a ship, right?
Yeah,
like there's
yeah,
a lot of
just-
physical objects.
I don't.
we'll find out, I guess, what that means.
Does it still show up in the void? Everything prunes.
There's
still
something
goes to the
behind
void?
it? I don't
Is
get
it still
it.
going to the void? The void is still there.
Yeah.
Elias not dead, right?
Well, there's a
No, he was enchanted.
Oh yeah, they just like controlled his mind.
Right.
I want to say this show, maybe more than a lot of shows, makes for a great behind-the-scenes featurette because there's wild, great sets to show. Ki Wai Kwan's whatever his
Swing.
weird room that he gets dropped into
Yeah.
is so cool looking. The TVA truck, the practical TVA truck that Loki's thrown in the back of. There's so many cool things as opposed to maybe a lot of stuff that's shot mostly in front of a green screen or the volume, or is maybe on location but just in normal woods houses or whatever, right?
Series that take place on Tatooine, for example, always look awful.
I do wonder the parts that were CGI looked great. The timeline doing whatever the hell it's doing looks great, and maybe there's been a lot of criticism of Marvel VFX lately. VFX in general, with the Flash, these artists are having less and less time to complete the work that they need to do. I wonder if that specific thing is just easier. Maybe the Loki creative team was sort of well, we know we have this VFX crunch. Let's build everything that we can because we can do that work ahead of time. And then the CGI stuff, let's keep it to be as easy as possible.
And not all CGI is created equal. Humans and human-like figures are a lot tougher and often look a lot worse. So maybe if you're just doing timelines and funky backgrounds, they can pull that off a lot better than when they need fully CGI'd characters like your Rocket Raccoons or whatever. The Rocket looked great, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah. Again, all these trailers, it's nice. They're going for disparate energy, kind of different messages, without giving away any plot whatsoever, right? We've seen a lot of scenes and some action shots and stuff like that, but there's no everything they talk about as far as what's going to happen. This is about Loki discovering his heroicism and finding out who he is. It's all very
Loki's
generic.
a good guy trailer, which was kind of jarring to me. I thought maybe he would toe the line between hero and villain a little bit more in this season, but this was... He says, I want to save my friends. He says he's trying to discover his heroicism. I think there was one more sort of Loki ends up being a good person line.
And now, one thing we haven't talked about is the Jonathan Majors of it all, right? How much of this is they want to downplay the protagonist-antagonist element of this series so they don't have to feature a lot of Jonathan Majors in the footage? Who knows, right? There's a rumor that he's not in every episode, and
I think they said three
of the episodes, and that doesn't even mean he's prominent in those episodes. Who knows? But that could be part of it. Or they're a popular show and they can afford to stay vague. They don't need to sell you on all the plot points, right?
Yeah. The sell is the first season, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the season's about. It doesn't matter what the season's about. I worry. He says we spent a lot of time with Loki as a villain. Hasn't he been a hero the most of the MCU? Pound for pound, hour for hour. Now a lot of the 6 hours of that is the first season, which a lot of that is him learning to be nice after kind of resetting with a villainous Loki. But it does make me wonder if he's gonna. I kept wondering if this season they would throw in a Thor cameo.
Yeah.
Some sort of resolution with his family.
We saw Hemsworth's voice was cut from season 1. There was going to be Throg at a coronation, and they trimmed that out. Maybe
they just released that deleted scene or leaked it or whatever.
I have a feeling when they were shooting Thor: Love and Thunder, they were let's do a little pickup shot. Because that would be a great resolution for this Loki, right? Is Thor or someone being hey, you're all right, buddy.
It would be
your thing,
great to have those two guys share the screen again.
Right.
Yeah.
In this, in the next Thor movie, and whatever, right? We desperately want that. They have such great chemistry. And one of the best backstories, on-screen stories that's been told in the MCU.
And what a moment for Thor, right? Loki hasn't experienced, the loss necessarily because he's in it from a different
his loss
timeline.
Is mostly his mother.
Right. He's from a different timeline where Thor's still alive. But Thor is from, if we get 616 Thor, Loki's dead and has been dead. So that'll be
and he watched him die. Yeah. What a catharsis for Thor. Speaking of Thor, look at that Mjolnir in between Brandon and John. That, folks, we made that Mjolnir by hand. Truly, that is a 4D puzzle from our good friends at Puzzle 4D. That was assembled. They make a Mjolnir. They make a Tony Stark head. They make a Spider-Man head. There's some really cool Marvel licensed products. They also have Star Wars license, Harry Potter license, everything you need to make a 4D model like that. 4D, am I using the right number of Ds?
Well, this is a 3D puzzle.
Does it travel through time?
Yeah.
Oh, touche.
Well, if you build one and leave it, it will travel through
You're
time.
right.
Yeah, it'll be there the next day.
Yeah,
That's right. So it's 4D. Okay. But the 3D puzzle, everything you need to make it comes in a box. They got all the pieces. They even give you like a little thing to help assemble it. Some of them come with glue, so you
bit
can
of
make them
glue.
permanent if you
Hey.
want. And you know,
No.
they are not for huffing. They are incredibly detailed, like all the little knurling on Mjolnir hammers there. The background, you can see a Star Destroyer that Brandon assembled.
That's right.
Okay, from their Star Wars line with all the little gun turrets and the little portholes and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. And they come with detailed instructions. All the pieces are numbered. You've got all the colors. It's like a fun thing to do with a loved one or by yourself, right? Like kind of like a meditative process of assembling these things. And then at the end, you get a cool thing you can sit on a shelf.
I brought one of these to a Chili's, finished it before I got kicked out.
Wait, why are you getting kicked out of a Chili's?
I was sitting there for too long. I was solving a puzzle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you imagine?
okay.
They're trying to serve sizzling fajitas, and this
right.
guy's filling out a puzzle.
They're saying, I want my table back, table back. Chili's. Can't stay for more than 2 hours. Okay. Chili's did not sponsor this.
But if hey, Chili's, get in the comments, man.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
To get a 40, we would gladly simulcast this.
We
for
gotta cut
any
this shit
Chili's in the
out.
country.
We can't do a sponsor within a sponsor.
To get a 4D build Marvel puzzle model kit of your own, just click one of the links in the description below or head to Target or Amazon where they sell them. For as little as $15, you can start your Marvel, Star Wars, or Harry Potter puzzle collection today. We thank them for sponsoring this show. Let's move on to the Hands of Time teaser from September 22nd.
This is going to sound strange. I've been pulled through time.
What does that mean?
Just disappeared.
Loki Season 2, streaming October 5th on Disney+.
Real quick, do we think he's saying absolutely not to Mobius because he doesn't want to ride
Tandem bike?
twosies on a bicycle? Well, that was a normal sized bike. That was not a tandem bike.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
He didn't want to do
He wants
handlebars
to
or
do-
whatever.
right.
He's like, you got no pegs on the spokes wagon.
Or do you think he just refuses to ride bicycles in general?
Is he afraid of bicycles? Can he
Do
not
they have
figure it
bikes
out?
in Asgard? Does he know how?
Ooh.
Maybe
Well, they
he's-
got floating boats. They don't
yeah,
know.
he doesn't know how to ride a bike.
They got goats and stuff.
They think I
A
go.
lot of the same shots we've
Right.
seen from previous things. A couple new jokes, lines of dialogue.
My main concern is that there's not going to be enough missed minutes in this show. They keep reusing.
They've only given
Keep
us.
reusing the same line
Do you
and
think-
the same shot.
Do you think we only get olden times Miss Minutes? We don't get a modern times
I
Miss
would
Minutes?
kill
she's
myself.
she's a big part of. She's got to be a big part of the plot, right? Because the last we saw Miss Minutes, she was giving Ravonna Renslayer like secret documents. She was
Well,
like,
but-
he wanted you to have these, and he helped her, or Miss Minutes helped Ravonna like get away.
That was after. It was after we saw her in the Citadel.
That was after the Citadel.
Okay.
After she
So I was
knows that
wondering,
Loki and
like,
Sylvie are
if
there.
Kang has been killed, maybe like she's free or something like that.
Well, that
and
happens
doesn't have
before
to-
Kang dies, though. She gives the files
I'm saying,
before
but now that
dies.
Kang is
Oh.
dead, maybe
Yes.
she has
how,
more agency.
How wedded is she to Kang?
Right.
We get the sense because of the Victor Timely appearance where she's there, right?
Yeah.
That maybe like their origins are tied or her origin is tied to him somehow, but that doesn't mean they're linked forever necessarily.
Are they gonna pull like a Iron Man 3 Mandarin where it's like Miss Minutes was actually Kang and He Who Remains was like some sort of puppet?
What a way to get around a recast, huh?
Well, there you go.
Miss Minutes Dynasty coming to theaters in 2025.
People would watch.
I don't know if it hits as hard. Literally, I don't know if people want to watch a giant clock hit people as hard.
The Miss Minutes militia, I think, will rise up.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Where was Miss Minutes on January 6th?
Oh,
What rewatching all these trailers, the thing that is sticking out to me, even though we've seen a lot of the same shots, is the dialogue that they're repeating. He keeps saying, "I've been pulled through time" when he's done the time slipping stuff. So I wonder if like we're gonna see more time periods in this show versus
yes.
Loki season 1, because we didn't do too much in the past. We had that one scene in the church, but everything else was, relatively around 2018 or whatever.
Because we know in this we are getting old-timey
Chicago
World's
World's
Fair,
Fair.
Chicago World's Fair. We're getting 70s, 80s McDonald's.
Oh yeah.
That. Oh, sorry.
But
did
also
I-
70s, 80s.
Oh, the movie
Hollywood.
star.
Zaniac,
Yeah,
that's
no-
like supposed to be
50s, maybe?
60s,
Okay.
70s. I think.
Zaniac and Sylvie could be in this, and McDonald's Sylvie could be in the
Sure.
same period.
Yeah.
Those could be slightly different. Yes, we're getting at least a few.
There was that shot of Hunter B-15 as like a doctor or something like that.
Oh, I missed
Oh
that
yeah, that
first
could be
trailer?
modern or that could be something else.
Yeah.
She's also kind of in like a jazz singer outfit at one
Right.
point. That could be the same as the World's Fair timeline, or that could be that's probably more like the
Theater.
The
70s.
Zaniac,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. I would love it. What era that is yet to be disclosed would we love to see? I want to see Miss Minutes in prehistoric.
Oh, you want to miss minute? Is
wanna
that like
see
a
it.
Flintstones thing where it's like a
Yes.
bird that has a sundial?
That
or
is a
something?
very like time travel movie trope. It's like, oh, we went too far back into the past, and now there's
And there's a dinosaur that takes a bite out of Mobius or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, Evan.
So in the interest of time, because we're running a little long, maybe we.
I've been sucked through time, Evan.
Pulled through time.
Sucked.
Jesus.
Sucked through time. The initial suck in.
Do we want to skip to that video you shared today, Brandon? That BTS one. I think maybe that one has
let's
like
do it.
To be fair, this is not about the band BTS. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up.
Disappointing.
This is Entertainment Tonight. Put out a video today, a behind-the-scenes look, with some more behind-the-scenes footage, which you love so much.
Love it.
Loki season 2, take 1.
Best thing about this, we enjoy making it.
Looks great.
I mean, a couple big things there, right?
Yeah.
A couple shots at the Citadel at the end of time.
Yeah,
which means they're definitely shooting
and Tom
new
Hiddleston
scenes.
was in the shot.
Yeah.
he was there. Like, it's not gonna be like
It
a
looks like
Kang
he was in
flashback
his-
or whatever.
Yeah, he looked like he was in his outfit from the end of the last season.
So maybe it'll be a flashback to that. Yeah.
Or it could be like them redoing it or something.
Yeah, that's
weird
that's
like
the
Oh,
Groundhog
we
Day
killed him
element.
and we fucked up. Let's go back in time and
not
somehow
kill him or
unkill him.
something.
Ooh, yeah, how would that
Ooh,
work?
that'd be
something weird like
interesting.
that. Also, that shot of like Ravonna in her TVA guard. So we'll probably see her like immediately after she left, like what journey she went
Oh
on.
yeah, interesting.
Kind of carrying her bag and stuff like that. The shot of Mobius in his jet ski attire, like
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the fake,
shooting it
the
down-
fake
the fake
backdrop,
background.
which
The
makes me
fleece
think
vest,
like
yeah.
the fake backdrop must be like real in the location,
Right.
It's not like Marvel's
They're
putting a
trying
fake
to,
back.
That's behind his desk or something
Right,
like
right,
that.
right,
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Also, man, don't they seem now? Obviously, they're never going to put out a BTS video that's showing like people being assholes or whatever. But like, doesn't it seem like that's a fun group of people? Especially Hiddleston seems like a blast.
Yeah.
Ki-Wei Kwan seems like
So
a
nice.
blast, right? Like, Sophia DiMartino is always charming in interviews and seems really fun.
They did sneak in a shot of smiling Jonathan Majors in
I
there,
know.
which I was surprised.
No lines,
by.
but we did get a little smile. Lots of Eugene Cordero in this, which is very
Well,
interesting.
they bumped him up to series regular, right?
Oh,
I
really?
think he's
For
gonna
this
play a
season.
bigger part.
I think he will. I think his official title on the show changed a little bit. I think he was like bumped up from like special guest to like series.
Well, and really,
regular.
when you think about besides the big TVA characters, he's like the next rung down. He's like kind of one of the only ones that had
Mm-hmm.
any lines last season, besides Hunter, B, whatever, and
Yeah, I think he got a
Renslayer.
show poster at some point, maybe.
Oh.
I don't remember. I could be wrong about that.
And he's funny. It seems like they're, I don't know. It's tough because like some of the trailers lean epic or serious, but it feels like this season might lean a little bit more comedy. They're giving a lot of the new hires are comedy
Yeah.
people. Seems like they're giving a little bit more lines to some of the comedy heavy hitters.
And I think there was more comedy in Loki season 1 in the front half of the
Yeah.
season,
Yes.
and then it kind of like a lot of
Got very
shows
serious, yeah.
and movies that are comedies, they
The big-
kind of serious themselves up
Once
Yeah.
they get to the big action set pieces. But okay, final takeaways. What do you think is the biggest thing nothing has shown us yet? What is the biggest remaining element of this show that hasn't
Kang.
been given away in any
I
teasers?
think Kang.
Yeah.
We only see Victor Timely. I think like that's a past version of Kang. We need like a future.
And maybe that's just one
version,
episode where we see the Victor Timely
or-
one.
Yeah.
We're gonna see a present or
parallel time.
or one of the other variants.
Right, because the whole thing at the end of season 1 was like more of me are gonna show up, and we've only seen Timely.
I think it's the places they're not showing us yet, right? A lot of shots of the TVA, that little Citadel at the end of time, you know, a lot of the Zaniac stuff they've been showing. I feel like there's
Right.
got to be some interesting locations they're just not giving away at all.
And mine would be I think Brandon mentioned it earlier, a variant. Right? A Loki Gator or an equivalent, classic Loki, somebody else showing up, and maybe not playing a gigantic role in the show, but just having a presence, being involved in a fight scene, something like that.
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna get like a Sylvie. Obviously, Sylvie and Loki are variants of each other, but we've gotten so many, both Tom Hiddleston variants of Loki and other male variants of Loki, but we only have Sylvie. I wonder if we'll get some Sylvie.
Thank you so much for watching on Twitch and YouTube. We're so excited for Loki Season 2. What's our coverage going to look like on the Breakroom channel for Loki, John?
Okay, on Thursday nights, Inside Marvel.
We'll drop like right when the episode comes out.
Yeah, hopefully only a couple hours later.
And we're probably going to have Eric on all of those, or most of
I
them?
don't know about all of them. He's going to be on the first two.
Great.
And then the next day, we're going to continue with our lingering questions thing that we've been doing for Ahsoka, basically just digging even deeper into the episode and being like, well, what the hell is going to happen next episode? And then we're trying to figure out what we're going to do the following week, but we will have like a special show either on Monday or Tuesday.
Do we just test out McDonald's sauces? Or...
Sure, I love it.
Okay, great. Can we stretch that to like 90 minutes? Would you watch 90 minutes of just nuggies getting dipped?
Why has it got to be nuggies? You can dip whatever you want.
Dip in nugs.
No, stop. Jeez Louise. No more Coke Zeros for Zach before the show.
Can't help it, I'm jacked up for Loki Season 2. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Thank you to Puzzle 4D for sponsoring. Again, click the link. It's holiday shopping season's right around the corner. Click the link in this video's description. You support the show, and you can get a fun present for a family member, a friend, whatever, who likes puzzles and likes Marvel or Star Wars. Be sure to subscribe to Breakroom to check out all our great content on Loki and Ahsoka and everything else, Gen V.
Hell yeah.
And from Brandon, John, Evan, Dashiell, Brian, everybody else, and myself. Have a great day, everybody.
Latest, Gators.